I want to take a time out here for a second and talk about renderers. As you can see from our project here, it's not very pretty and it's not organized yet. And that's just because we're in the process of getting everything in and just starting to flesh out our animation. Understand that pre-composing is going to be an integral part of that. But before we start really diving deep into pre-composing, what we need to do is understand what renderer we're using. The reason I bring this up until this point, we've been creating comps by importing external pieces of footage as well as creating them from scratch. Well, when you import external pieces of footage, like the Photoshop document we did in the previous video, the blend modes from those documents will translate into After Effects. And if you're not paying close attention to what renderer you're using, that could be problematic. So for example, if we look at layer 1 here, this was a green layer that was brought in from an external Photoshop document. And if you look over here in our switches area in the middle of the interface, you should see that hard light is a blend mode that's been applied. I don't want you to be concerned about the specific blend mode or how blend modes work. We're going to dive deep into that in the next chapter. Right now, I just want you to be able to see that it's not set to normal. And when your layer is not set to normal, that means you're using a blend mode. Notice with this layer being set to hard light, it looks kind of different in terms of how it blends into all the layers below it. If I press T to open up my opacity, you can see it's at 42%. Well, let's click and drag that up to 100, and you'll see with hard light, it's mixing with the layers below it. Let's go to the composition settings for our Kinetico 2 composition that we're in. Let's move this to the left so we can see our comp window. If you go to the Advanced tab, check this out. Our renderer that we're using is the Ray Trace 3D renderer. Now the problem with this is the fact that this renderer does not support blend modes. Now, I know you're thinking to yourself, well, I'm looking at one right now, it's working perfectly well. And you would be correct. But if I click OK and go back into my comp and turn this into 3D, look what happens. It's going to take a little while to process, but now check it out. There's no blend mode being applied. And as a matter of fact, I can't even see it in my switches panel. So when I get to pre-composing things, if you're not paying attention to what renderer you're using, if you have blend modes in there as well, you're really starting to complicate things. So let's change this back from a 3D layer to a 2D layer. Go into our composition settings, and under the Advanced tab, let's change the renderer from Ray Traced to Classic 3D. Now when we click OK, even if we make this a 3D layer, we still have a blend mode applied to it. All right, now that we've covered that little hurdle about the renderer, now we're ready to actually jump in and understand composing and pre-composing.